It is no longer under question that Nigeria's main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, has more or less thrown the contest for its presidential ticket open to all interested stakeholders ahead of next year's general election. And thus far, one of those that have indicated strong interest in securing that platform to run is the present governor of Bauchi State in the Northeast, Bala, Mohammed. What are his chances in the midst of other significant contenders for the ticket, including the pair of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and next Governor Peter Obi, who both have thrown their hearts in the ring in recent days? How could possible geopolitical permutations affect the Bauchi governor's chances? And what might he be bringing to the table in the event that he succeeds with his primary campaign? We are now being joined by Dr. EMMANUEL AGBO, a PDP chieftain and former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the party, as well as a close confidant of Governor Bala Mohammed. Good morning, Dr. AGBO. Good to have you join us.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. You're welcome.
Nice having you here too.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right. Let's go straight to it, Dr. AGBO. I know that you are very close to the Bauchi State Governor, Bala Mohammed, and we know that he has indicated his interest to run. And I'd like to ask you, what are his chances? Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has declared his running mate in the 2019 election. Former Governor Peter Obi has also declared. What are your man's chances, and why is he running to be the president of Nigeria? Dr. AGBO, can you hear me, please? Hello, Dr. AGBO. Are you there?
I'm just hearing you now. Sorry, please, for the mix-up.
Okay, no problem. That's fine. I'll just repeat the question. I said I know that your man is running to be president of Nigeria, but what are his chances? How prepared is he running against people like Vice President Atiku and Governor Peter Obi, who are strong contenders and who have made their declarations known for the party's ticket? How prepared is your man, and why is he running to be the president of Nigeria?
Thanks for the question. First of all, please permit me to put this, the introduction of my person correctly. The office that I had and served the People's Democratic Party up till December was Deputy National Secretary, not Deputy Publicity Secretary. Thanks. Yeah, to the question properly. His Excellency, the distinguished Senator Mohammed Abdulkadir Bala is a very distinguished Nigerian, passionate about his country. His love for humanity and mankind is exceptional. And I make bold to state and to tell Nigerians that he brings total commitment to service, much more a patriotic disciplinarian, an avowed career civil servant, very seasoned servant, an intelligentsia, a seasoned journalist, a diplomat. His diplomacy and his experiences are in no way in doubt. And so you have a man whose intellectual prowess certainly is without question or any iota of doubt, clearly beyond that which what we are asking that Nigerians should give to him exudes. But before I dwell much, you had asked in comparative terms. Please, I want to beg that from our table, what we intend to do is to project our principal as much as possible before Nigerians with all the qualities that he has on the basis of the need of the mold that the next Nigerian president should be. I think Nigerians should be asking pertinent questions as to great insecurity in the land, the collapse of the Nigerian naira, the collapse of our economy, the collapse of virtually everything, all facets of life of the Nigerian civil populace. And so, who do we see that has those qualities that, first of all, will allow for the absolute and total building of trust amongst Nigerians that will eradicate completely the distrust that has necessitated all forms of agitations in this country in the last 5-6 years? You have somebody whose antecedents, I'm talking about our principal, His Excellency Bala Mohammed, whose antecedents as minister has him having all Nigerians from all walks of life. But those that were closest, ironically, are those that are from other aspects, other places of this nation that you ordinarily will begin to say, how come? Based on the known trajectory of the behavioral characteristics of Nigerians. You know that once you have, say, let me say, a Christian of maybe southern or northern extraction in an office, he surrounds himself with Christians of near the proximity of the people will be just about his circle. But here we had somebody who served in the capacity of Minister of the FCT with the closest persons from the southeast, south, and southwest. His consultant on strategy, Kunle, was from the southwest. His consultant on media, Imagu, was from the southeast. His SSA, Eric, is from the southeast. And so you now have somebody who is absolutely and completely detribalized, and over time, by his experiences in the public service, have gone around the entire country and made friends that are now brothers to him in all regions and all states of this country. And so, once we see the absolute, the degree of distrust that has been brought to bear amongst Nigerians of different climes, we are looking for who will first have a Nigeria first agenda. And that's his agenda. That first, every Nigerian should be a Nigerian before we begin to think of where we are coming from.
All right. So,
the person that will have the...
yeah, we understand what you're saying. We understand that you say Bala Mohammed is detribalized. Now, what would you say to those that are calling for a president of Southeast extraction, especially? You know, earlier this month, you were quoted as saying that Nigerians have never been this divided along political and ethno-religious lines. Bala Mohammed is from the Northeast. Would you agree that those calling for the presidency to be zoned to the Southeast are advocating for what they have described as the marginalization of the Southeast? So electing a Northerner may cause a further divide.
Good. I am happy that you brought this up, because I was just imagining how I will find a way to introduce this very sensitive issue in this discussion. I want to restrict myself to the People's Democratic Party. This is a party with rich history. Aside that, is a party that believes that all segments of this country must be given a chance to provide leadership in this country. And so, I want to take you down this route. In 1999, the party decided and took their presidency to the South. In 2003, 4 years later, the party took their presidency again to the South. In 2007, the party took their presidency to the North. In 2011, even as the 2007 president was truncated through death, in 2011, we took the presidency and its ticket to the South. In 2015, the party took its ticket to the South. In 2019, the party took its ticket to the north. All in all, we have had 6 presidential elections from 1999 to 2023 to 2019. 2023 will be the 7th presidential election in this republic. In the last 6 elections, 4 of those zonings and 4 of those ticket holders are from the south, the southwest, and the south-south. 2, just 2, one in the south, in the northwest, and the other in the northeast. Of the 2, 1 won, 1 lost. Of the 4 tickets that went to the south, 3 won, 1 lost. In the totality of the years that, and we have 6 regions in this country, we have accepted even in our report when we went around and saw that, why did we lose? That truly and truly, there are 3 zones in this country since the beginning of this republic that has not been patronized by the People's Democratic Party in their presidential ticket. And those zones are the North Central, the Northeast, and the Southeast. On the North-South divide, the South has 2 zones have been patronized and have become presidents, adding up to 14 out of the 6 years of the PDP rule. In the North, we have 1 election which we won, and the person stayed for only 2 years in the Northwest. Agreed that the Northwest, now because of, on the platform of another party, has enjoyed, say, 7 to 8 years, ending 8 years by next year. The North Central and the Northeast have not had anything. And if you take these 2 brothers, N for North, S for South, and South has had 2 out of 3, and North has only 1 out of 3. If you are talking about equity, fairness, and justice, and you are their father, and you now have a chance, who will you give? Taking into cognizance that the cumulative years of the 2 presidents from the South came to 14 years, and the cumulative years of your son from the North was only 2 years. We must be very sensitive, and we must look at what we give PDP victory in the elections. We must not be dragged into the conglomeration of failed politicians that put themselves just for the purpose of wrestling power 8 years ago, that have up to today not known what to do with power. And you will appreciate with me that clearly all the indices have shown that the APC has failed catastrophically. And the nation is suffering their consequences because of their failure and ineptitude. And so as it is now, when you are not talking about the Southeast, 1 out of 3 zones in the South that has not been patronized. And we have 2 zones in the North that has not been patronized. On the basis of equity and fairness, where should the next zoning go? Then we are a political party that are disadvantaged by the sheer fact that 1 of the 36 states, we have only 13 governors on our platform. 14 of the APC governors are in the North. We have only 5. In the South, there are 8 governors PDP, 8 governors SDP, 16 and AGBO 1. That's the 17 states of the South. And so there are near 50-50 equal in terms of whatever is going to be the vote cast. Look at the spreads of the states that has APC the spread of the states that has a PDP.
All right, Dr. AGBO. We're with you. We hear you loud and clear. Very strong views you're sharing there. Let's speak futuristically and get to the nitty-gritty of it. Now, in very clear terms, what could Nigerians expect Governor Bala Mohammed to bring to the table in the event that he succeeds with his primary campaign?
First of all, what is absolutely most needed at this point in time is the unity of this great country, the oneness of Nigeria. Nothing can happen in this country unless we build back confidence, unless we take back our country as one. We have been so divided that the West today wants a nation of their own. The East wants a nation of their own. We must cement those broken walls and allow for one great country again. And I assure you, the only person with those qualities, unpretentiously, is not coming to the television to talk. It's not now campaign rhetorics. The person that has demonstrated in the past, when he never thought, when he never even conceived the idea, the person that has shown true nationalism, like the late Yaradua, and who will bring intellectual capacity like Goodluck Jonathan into the acts of governance, is Bala Mohammed. Above it all, his love for human beings, for mankind, for people outside him, those that are not of his own stock in terms of religion, in terms of tribe, is exceptional. And our best bet and prayers to God is that this time, God has somehow punished us with a terribly very bad leader. We are hoping that he's going to bless us this time around, 2023 and beyond, with a man with compassion, with a man that has enough love for humanity in his mind. Above all, a man that has great and in-depth understanding of both micro and macroeconomics that will revive the nation's economy, bring back great value to our naira. Unfortunately, I just had some people calling on Buhari that they should bring who was Godwin Emefiele on board as president.
Dr. Agbo, sorry to cut you.
Destroyed the naira from
to come in there.
190 to 500. It's unfortunate. No, I mean, if we want to be able to...
Yeah, Dr. Agbo, we don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time, and we need to squeeze this in very quickly. Your response is still a bit of a blanket statement. It's quite broad in terms of what it is. We want to know in very clear terms, what are the most critical issues at his heart? And how does he intend to address that if he does come into office?
Good. I've just told you that unifying this country on the basis of what Nigeria first is one. On the next and most important thing is securing the lives of Nigerians. Security absolutely has broken down in all facets of it. And we are looking multi-dimensional approach to the issues of security, because local developments that takes people off the streets helps in reducing all the tendencies for young men to go into crimes. And the package for the development in terms of training of the youths and financially empowering them to sustain whatever choices they make in terms of their livelihood is topmost on the agenda that His Excellency is bringing into the economic dynamics that will turn around the broken down economic situation that we have in this country. And you know it, if we secure this country, and then the economics is such that everybody has something to do, no matter how small, that keeps us positively engaged. Small, medium, and those large establishments and industries, then we can now begin to say, yes, again, we have a country where everyone can find himself wherever you find yourself, notwithstanding where you come, whether you are from there or not, but you are secured. And I assure you, for His Excellency, this nation, the passion he has for this country, the nationalist that we know him to be, he certainly will solve the security issues and bring economic development to this country. Talking specifically.
All right, Dr. Agbo.
Again,
all right, Dr. Agbo. Just last one, just a quick one before we let you go. I know that you've spoken, well of your man, but the area that you have not touched on is the area of his anti-corruption credentials. I'm aware, and you know, that his son, Shamsuddin, was embroiled in an EFCC matter over money laundering and false declaration of assets. How did that bother Dr. Bala, Mohammed Bala, and what will be specific plans towards fighting corruption in Nigeria? Because that's still a major case within the civil service and in the general polity, given the fact that his son, was embroiled in an issue like that.
Well, I want to say thank you and that you brought this up. It's an opportunity for us to
just 2 minutes, if you don't mind, sir. Just 2 minutes more that we've got. If you can quickly wrap it up in 2 minutes, please.
Oh,
yes. Go ahead,
honestly,
please.
how I wish we had more than 2 minutes, but I'll do justice to it in the next 2 minutes.
All right, thank you.
We are in a country where the EFCC is empowered to doing its job, and in the process, invitation and putting anybody onto investigation until the investigation is finished is their duties for which we uphold that they should do, including even our principal or his son or anybody or myself standing before you. And we await the results of these investigations. But I can tell you very clearly, our principal, his son, at the end of the day, will, like the truth behind the issues involved, be absolved completely. And so we, in his capacity as governor, in his capacity as a presidential aspirant, we and his friends, no one will want to interfere with the workings of the EFCC. But I promise you that at the end, the son himself and all friends will be vindicated. Now, on his destined to fight corruption, he has lived a corrupt-free life all his life in the civil service, rising up to director. The antecedents are there. He was minister. The antecedents are there. The records are there. The files are there. The truth is, maybe this is not for the press, but I think you know that it's not our party that has produced the new minister of the FCT. And so we are not having any cover. But 6 years down the line, 7 years down the line, nothing has been held to him. I think that shows how transparent and how corrupt-free this distinguished Nigerian is. And he will bring those credentials right into governance. And certainly, I want to promise you, there will be no chance for either sacred cows or corrupt officials, both in public service and in the political service, under his watch.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Emmanuel AGBO. We want to thank you for sharing perspective with us, and we wish your man, Bala Mohammed, the very best of chances.